What's up, you guys? This is Abe coming back to making videos. And just briefly, I just want to say that I'm well aware that I've been out for a couple of months. I believe it's two. And the reason I was out is because I'm barely finished my bachelor's degree in becoming an elementary school teacher. So I was super busy with the whole completing the thesis and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm well aware that I have 0 subscribers, but I'm not hating or anything like that. The purpose of this channel is not to make millions or anything like that. My actual goal right now is to get at least 100 subscribers, and pretty much the purpose of this channel is just to kind of like give you guys an idea of certain anime, so you guys won't have to waste time watching, let's be real, there's crappy anime out there. And so you guys could, maybe you want to watch an action based anime and just quickly go into, my channel and, say, all right, well, he pretty much had a good idea about this. And, whatever he said, like, he gave me a good synopsis and, kind of a good recommendation. All right, so enough with that. All right, so let's go with the final impressions of the 2015 spring anime. And I'm also well aware that this is kind of late, but this I'm gonna try to do my best with it. Hopefully you guys get. The purpose of the final impressions is not to try not to spoil anything. So you know let's start with this. All right, you guys. So we're gonna start with Dungeon ni Daio Motomeru no wa Machigateiru Daroka, and please excuse my pronunciation. I'm not Asian or anything like that. All right, so pretty much I think it translates to, is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon or something like that? Alright, so pretty much it's an action fantasy anime, and for the most part it's generic, you guys. You're not really gonna miss much out of it. The main problem that this anime had was, it didn't explain much about the world and certain mechanisms. I mean, you get kind of dumbfounded with certain things that happen in the anime. And pretty much the characters are also generic. We have Bell, which, he just wants to get stronger. I mean, it's pretty much a generic based anime. There's not much, originality in it, but like the strange thing about this anime is that it's actually pretty entertaining, and I enjoyed the whole 13 episodes. They were good episodes for the most part, even though it was generic. I really enjoyed the 13 episodes. There wasn't like something dramatically where you're just like, what the fuck's going on, But for the most part, I enjoyed uh the anime. All right, another thing too, you guys. I know I started with the first impressions, and in this final impressions, I'm not gonna talk about all the anime because I didn't have a chance to finish all of them, with the same reason that a lot of schoolwork and all of that. So I'm just gonna talk about to the ones I stuck out with, and they were pretty. For the most part, I want to say these were the best animes I saw. All right, so let's continue with. All right, we're gonna continue with High School DxD Born. It's a continuation. I don't know what arc is this, but I'm pretty sure it was like I don't know, you guys. Like, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I know I might get hate, and I'm a fanboy of High School DxD. Don't get me wrong, but these are just like, I was kind of confused by it for some parts. Like, I didn't know what they were trying to focus on. I don't know if it was the war or I don't know. It was just like kind of pretty confusing, and for the most part, Issei and it was just like they just focus on the etchiness of it. Like, for the most, and then don't get me wrong, I like seeing Ria's titties and shit like that, and this time the etchiness was like a little over the top, but they focus more on that, and it was just like, I don't want to say it was complete clusterfuck, but for the most part, I was like confused at times, and for the most part, it was just and it was average, you guys. I hate to say it. I'm a fanboy. Like, I think the first season was just like the best out of all of them. It was just, I wanted more and more. But now, right now, they're just focusing so much on the etchiness that it's just like, yeah, just becoming kind of average, and it's not producing the same drama. Like, certain things were just like, it was okay for the most part. All right, so we're gonna continue with Mikagura Gakuin Kumikyoku. And this anime is pretty much based on Eruna, where she enters a new academy. And the kind of interesting about this academy is that there's the clubs fight, and they have like special abilities and stuff. Pretty for the most part, this anime was it was average too, you guys. Like, I think the biggest flaw this anime had was like It never had like kind of like where's it going. And towards the end I just felt like the ending was just so rushed. It was pretty fast. If you like action and all of that, I mean, even the action at some parts were just like, it wasn't, don't get me wrong, like the action was pretty cool or pretty badass for what they showed, but it was just a little bit most of the time. It was just like 3 4 minutes of just like, and that's about it. Like, so I mean, for the most part it was okay. And if you get turned up, because for example our main character is Aruna, and she kind of has like lesbian tendencies, and maybe you get turned off by that, I mean, just don't watch it, just to give you a heads up. I mean, it's not completely like, I'm pretty sure it's like, straight up, because there are a lot of like, there's no like girl on girl action hardcore, but like Aruna's always like right there trying to like, talking about how she loves the other girls and shit like that. We're gonna talk about our next anime is Owari no Seraph, and pretty much this anime is a drama, fantasy, supernatural vampire, and it focuses on Yuichiro, which was like a slave or to the vampires, and it's kind of like an kind of apocalyptic world where there's a little bit of humans left and the vampires run everything, and the humans are trying to like trying to gain territory again, trying to fight back. For the most part the anime was kind of generic, you guys. I mean, I felt like it could have gave more, but for the most part it was okay. Like, it's generic. The action was it's pretty cool. The action is all right, and it just feels like another one of those school. Then next thing you know, I feel like it was fast paced, but maybe not for you. And believe this is like the first season, and they're gonna continue with this because like on the last episode, it had to be continued. But for the most part, I mean, it's generic. It's entertaining and everything. If you don't mind, kind of like that aspect of it. There's some cheesy moments. The one character, oh my god, me personally, I just hate Shinoa. I mean, for me personally, she's just so annoying. Like, I just felt like her whole character was just, oh my god, it just didn't fit in. It was just irritating. Like, she just said annoying stuff, and towards the ending, I kind of liked her a little bit more. But towards the beginning, all that, I mean, they just over exaggerate her character. It's just fuck. Out of it, I just hated her, like, straight up. All right, next we're gonna continue with Shokugeki no Soma, and pretty much this anime is it's just pretty cool. Like, I think for what it is like a cooking kind of like fighting style, kind of like duels and stuff like that. And for the most part, it's pretty cool. And the only problem that I have with this anime, it's very linear, or very like when it comes to the our main character Soma, as in like his goal is just to become the best. Like, I think it's kind of generic, but the way they go about it is it's interesting. Like the food duels and all that. I mean, they're pretty cool. They're always they're so over the top. I mean, with the situations, and at times it just felt like, oh my god, like they were just so over the top. You just feel at times that you like they're shoving so much food into your mouth that you just like feel like throwing up. And it's like, for example, the characters went to some crazy like challenge. They finished the challenge, and then I don't know where comes another crazy challenge, and then they finish the challenge, and you're just like, all right, you kind of like, all right, let's. And then they throw in another crazy ass challenge, and it's like, what the fuck's going on? This is just too much action. Well, it's not really action, but too much drama. And this is like, yeah, like you might get that feeling. And me personally, I suggest you watch it little by little, because you are gonna. I had times when I was like, fuck, this is just too much. I want this shit to end already. And our last anime I want to talk about is Yahari Ore no Seishun Love Comedy wa Michi ga Teiru Zoku, which is Nafu, the second season. And did this anime deliver with the second season? And for the most part, it did. Personally, I mean, the three characters, Hachima, Yukino, and Yui, are back, and oh my god, I just love the characters. Like, their personality, everything is like the most outstanding thing out of the whole anime. Like, their personalities, their uniqueness, and for the most part, when it came to the drama, I think it was okay. I felt like for the most part it could have been handled better, but it was okay. The second season was more of like dark tone, more serious, like really try to get that into like, you know, drama going on. And for the most part they kind of succeeded with that and they accomplished it. But one, I don't know, it depends on the way you see it, but one flaw that it had for me personally, like I kind of get the signs that were there, but like, you know, sometimes they imply stuff and it was like, what the fuck's going on? And you know, to a certain episodes, like, am I really getting this? And you're just kind of like dumbfounded at times. But like, for example, the last episode, it was just kind of like, I had to watch it twice because, you know, I finished it and I was like, okay, am I really reading the signs here? Because it's just mostly they just implying things and it's just like, you have to really catch on to stuff. And I have a feeling, I don't want to say what the ending on, I don't want to spoil anything. So, but for the most part, it, you know, it was a good, I personally believe it was better than season 1. And yeah, you know, they delivered. I highly recommend you watch season 1 and season 2. I mean, the characters are just, oh my god, they're just fucking amazing. So, you know, I'm a fanboy of this anime and series, and hopefully they continue with the third season or something like that. And so yeah, you guys, that's pretty much it. That's my final impressions of the 2015 spring anime season. Remember, I did, you know, in the first impressions, I had more anime, but you know, because of certain things, because of certain events in my life, I was unable to finish them. And I'm gonna start barely with the first impressions of the summer anime now that I'm in summer vacation. And hopefully, like I said, my goal is to get 100 subscribers. And I mean, that's a pretty small goal, but you know, if I could reach out to 100 of you guys and, you know, be, instead of having like 10,000, which, you know, maybe it could, who knows, you know, the future could hold a lot of things. But yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed this little guide, and sorry for, you know, my delay and all this stuff. If any of you guys watch this video, well, either way, like, take care and see you guys later.